Hello, everybody. How are you guys? We're here in Atlanta and loving it. It's a hot, humid day, and why wouldn't it be? And the 10-day forecast says we got more of the same, but guys, it's a Sunday afternoon. City of Atlanta is out walking the streets, getting ice cream, going to lunch, going to family outings. It's so far, the last 24 hours in Atlanta have been fantastic. I'm in the, I don't know where I am, but let's say Inman Park, Little Five Points, Edgewood, that kind of area. Where's that? And guys, I'm meeting so many cool people from Atlanta, and this video is going to be 3 more fun facts about Atlanta because I'm learning so much. I'm trying to get the information out to people that have never been here, that don't know about the city, the nooks and crannies where I get down into the, you see these travel shows, right? And they're like, we're in Atlanta. And they talk about 3 things, and it's like the same 3 things. Well, I get down into the nooks and the crannies, the streets and the avenues, where the real people live. In fact, I don't know anything about the city. I learned these 3 fun facts I'm about to share from a dude that was in the paint aisle at the home store, where you get all the wood and the nails and everything, and started talking about what I'm doing here. And because we started up a conversation, and I commented on his shirt. His shirt said, "Cabbagetown or bust." I'm like, what the heck is that? And one thing led to another, and he told me 3 amazing fun facts about Atlanta. So these are just going to be some neighborhood stories, some of the ones we mentioned maybe, or others, but since he just gave me the info, let's jump right into it. Now, over in Edgewood, Edgewood is a community that was founded in 1873. And the reason that it's called Edgewood is it used to be, believe it or not, guys, it's used to be the edge of Atlanta's. Now, in those days, Edgewood was way out on the edge. I mean, that's exactly what it was. So where do you live? Oh, I live out on the edge of the woods. You live out on Edgewood, way out there? I mean, and today they would laugh at that, right? Because it's nowhere near the edge of the city. The edge of Atlanta now, if you were to say, what is the city limits of Atlanta now? What's the edge of the city? And the real correct answer would have to be Charlotte. Because the city is that big, guys. But anyway, yeah, that's our fun fact, that Edgewood is a community that used to be on the edge of town. Unbelievable. Now, fun fact number 2 is that in Ord Meadow, let me see if I'm reading this right. Let me see if I'm giving you the right information. Let's go to Reynoldstown. So Reynoldstown is right near Cabbagetown, and he mentioned Cabbagetown on his shirt. Reynoldstown is where they originally created the Reynolds Wrap aluminum paper and aluminum foil, and that has to be like in 1659 or something. Right in there is when they developed that, because the reason they originally came about was they were trying to come up with material that they could wrap around their head, and during the cold winter nights it would keep the heat in. It was supposed to be like a head wrap, like a headband, almost like a scarf. And so then it slowly developed. The cowboys would be out on the range right around Atlanta. They'd be riding the range, and they had their aluminum headscarf, and they started wrapping their baked potatoes and stuff in it. It turned out to be a great cooking medium. And so many times, guys, we see this in the world of innovation and ideas, that things develop over time that weren't originally used for a purpose they weren't originally intended for. So what was supposed to be a head wrap or a headscarf that kept in the heat so that you could then sleep through the night without freezing out there in the cold of the Georgia winters, turned out to be a great medium for cooking baked potatoes and wrapping corn on the cob and all kinds of foodstuffs. And then as refrigeration came around, as keeping those same things wrapped in the fridge. So guys, that is Reynoldstown. Very exciting. I mean, there's so many cool things going on in this city, guys. I just can't keep, I honestly can't even keep up. There's so many things to talk about. And of course, we have to talk Cabbagetown since I brought it up. I can't leave that punchline hanging out there. Cabbagetown is named after, now I know what you're going to say, cabbage. No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. But Cabbagetown is named after a woman named Marie Cabbage. And she lived actually in Edgewood back in the day. And we're talking, guys, more than 100 years ago, 200 years ago. And she lived over in Edgetown. And she thought, golly, I want to start a business, but Edgetown is way too far from the city center. I'm going to move in closer. So she moved into what ultimately became Cabbagetown. She started her own business. And she created doorknobs for the burgeoning door and window industry because as the town grew, they needed knobs, they needed handles, they needed latches to be able to open and close doors, open and close windows. Because if you've ever had a door that didn't have a doorknob, it's almost impossible to keep it shut. You put the phone book there, you ask the dog to stand there, and then eventually they move because they get hungry, and the door just comes flying open. Like, I don't know who's coming in. It could be a criminal. It could be the paper boy. Maybe he's going to steal something. Maybe the Amazon guy that's dropping off packages is going to step inside the house and he's going to take my VCR. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that's why those days they're like, we got to get doorknobs. And so Marie Cabbage started the first doorknob and window latch company. In fact, it was called the Marie Cabbage Doorknob and Window Latch Company. Right there in Cabbagetown. Now, what happened was it was a boom. It's a boom. She took off because, first of all, she was a great saleswoman. Great at sales. When Marie Cabbage came rolling into your business, you're a builder, right? And you're like, I need doorknobs for night doors. And here comes Marie Cabbage rolling in. Not only was she attractive, but she could hang with the guys, so to speak, in those days. That's what they called it. And that means, telling jokes, goofing around, smoking cigars. She knew how to handle men. And that's who primarily were running businesses in those days, were guys. So here you had this attractive woman come rolling in with doorknobs and window latches and all kinds of accessories for those two things. And next thing you know, she's walking out with a $500,000 contract with your building company. You're like, what just happened? And, well, the thing is, you just got cabbaged. That's what she would say. She'd walk out with a half smile on her face, get out of the sale, get into her. She had a driver. She had the whole horse and buggy, right? She knew how to play it up, play up her importance, play up her role. She knew how to do it, position herself as a leader, as an important person in town. She had on the expensive clothes, the white gloves, but she knew her doorknobs and her window latches inside and out. She'd make the sale, come back to the horse and buggy, and I'm not talking about an open air buggy. What do you call the carriage? She rode around in a carriage in Atlanta 200 years ago, guys. And she would get into the carriage and look at the bill of sale, and she'd say, "You just got cabbaged." Okay? And she'd high-five the driver, and the driver would be sitting on top of the carriage, so he had to reach down with his white-gloved hand, and she had her white-gloved hand, and they'd smack hands. He'd reach down, she'd reach up, and it didn't have a real smack sound because they're both wearing gloves. But I'm telling you, she was the queen of doorknobs, the queen of window latches, and basically over time, she changed the neighborhood so much by supporting it, pouring money into it, building her offices out, adding new businesses, encouraging local business owners, and becoming a community leader, okay, when that meant something, that they changed the name to Cabbagetown. Unbelievable, guys. And these are the kind of stories that we're going to be sharing through my time in Atlanta. I'm going to be here for a few days. We're doing some comedy. We're going to be at some of the open stages around town. Say hi. Come up and say hi and tell me if you heard these crazy stories. And I love it. Give me more. and I'm going to throw them out there to the world because people love them. Talk to you soon.